Hello and welcome, guys. First of all, I'd like to apologise for just the sheer length of time between episodes at the minute. Without going into too much detail, my time is extremely limited, and so I'll try and do my best to keep on top. And it just as it happens, the last sort of 10 days or so has been particularly busy, and not had a great deal of time to get more episodes uploaded. I intended to be, more or less halfway through season one by now, and as it happens, we're not even off the first disc of the box set. So unfortunately, it's not going to be as often as I like, but I'll do my very best to try and get it out there. Uploading the episodes and actually getting them past copyright is proving to be, excuse me, a real chore. Which in particular was the hardest one so far, just to simply just get round the copyright. I'm trying to avoid, if I can help it, putting the episodes across two parts, but simply just getting around the algorithm or whatever it is that's used to detect the copyright's proving really difficult. And I had to cut quite a bit of discussion out of the last one. It wasn't too bad, but the main thing I did have to cut out was I was talking about Amy at one point and her future appearances in the show, and one of the things I got to was her appearance in season 8, the comic book continuation. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I sort of described it as an elephant out of the room. Let's get it out of the way now while it's still fresh. I really don't like the comic book continuity, and I know it is the canon. I can't dispute that, but personally, for me, the story for Buffy and for Angel ends with their respective shows. The continuation, without going into too much detail, I might dedicate a video to it one day. I just don't like the direction it took the characters in. I didn't feel like it was a wholly faithful conclusion, even though obviously it was written by Joss and quite a few of the writers from the show, like Jane Espenson, and to name one, came on to write their own stories and try and carry on the legacy of Buffy, and I don't feel they did it very well. And so it's just to get that out of the way, really. That aside, let's get back to season 1, not season 8, season 1. We're about to watch Teacher's Pet, which a few years ago I gave a 3 out of 5. This is the first episode written by David Greenwalt, who will become very important to the Buffy legacy as we go on, and ultimately, of course, the Angel legacy. He was instrumental in launching that show with Joss. This is notable for being the first episode where really you saw a notable quality drop. That's not to say this episode is bad, and like I discussed in earlier episodes, the part of the early charm is the fact that they still have the great writing that gets around a lot of the corniness. But indeed, this is the episode where you will see certainly a lesser production value to what you expect. We go into the territory of like non-humanoid monsters in this. And obviously this one is a praying mantis, and it's the first time where they have to rely on like creature effects, and it's not awful, but as we'll see, it's not great. So just brace yourselves. Let's just get into it then. This is Teacher's Pet, written by David Greenwalt, and let's go.
You alright?
Thanks to you. You hurt your hand. Will you still be able to
Finish my solo and kiss you like you've never been kissed before?
It's not the heart, Xander. Your fantasy is flawed.
I understand you probably have a good excuse for not doing it. Amazingly enough, I don't care. And please don't listen to the principal or anyone else's negative opinion about you. Let's make them eat that permanent record. What do you say?
Okay.
I found myself completely captivated by how charming that scene is. It makes it all the more tragic for what's about to happen, unfortunately. because he establishes himself as a really sort of caring teacher, which you don't get a lot of in this show, to be honest. You know, and that's something that will carry on in Buffy's years through uni as well. I do miss these early Bronze vibes.
Work with me here. Blaine had the nerve to question my manliness. I'm just gonna give him a visual.
We'll show him. I don't believe it.
I know, and after all my conquests. You're cold.
You can take it.
Look cold. Oh, right. Give her your jacket. It's a balmy night. No one needs to be trading clothing out there. I have to go.
Sweet dreams to you, too.
It's interesting, in the hands of David Greenwald, Angel's already a little bit more serious. He's not quite as jovial as he was in the first couple of episodes.
That's all the guy said.
God, every day here is the same.
Bright, sunny, beautiful. However, can we escape this torment?
Really?
I think as someone who lives in the UK, I can certainly relate to Giles there. Although that said, you know, I'm definitely a summer person, so I wouldn't mind if every day was like the weather they have in Sunnydale.
Short skirts, I kind of got. Yeah, they said.
Anybody seen Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Because this is Sindel.
I wonder what she sees in me. It's probably the quiet good looks coupled with a certain smoky magnetism. Miss French, you two are probably a little too young to understand what an older woman would say in a younger man.
Oh, I understand.
Good.
A younger man is too dumb to wonder why an older woman can't find someone her own age and too desperate to care about the surgical improvements.
What surgical improvements?
Well, he is young and so terribly innocent.
There's a lot of very, very adorable looks between Buffy and Willow in this episode. You know, we're nearly into double figures, I think.
Carve up for my one-on-one with Miss French today. When's yours?
Please promise me you won't do anything rash.
Cross my heart.
See, already you notice the difference between this and the pilot, or Welcome to the Hellmouth. Why didn't you just vault the fence? It's still very early days with the writers seemingly constantly at odds with what they think Buffy can do and her strength level, and this will still carry on through most of the first series.
No. You have to talk to a counselor and start the healing. You have to heal.
No, Mr. Flutie, I don't...
Heal.
That's cool. The way Buffy just sits down is just very funny.
It was really, try looking under things that can turn their heads all the way around.
Nothing human can do that.
No, nothing human. There are some insects that can. Whatever she is, I'm gonna be ready for her.
Buffy's intuitiveness that she displayed in The Witch is very much on point for this episode as well.
Only the praying mantis can rotate its head like that.
That's Buffy with an astounding success rate.
Factoid 3, her fashion sense screams predator.
It's the shoulder pads.
Exactly.
This computer invasion that Willow's performing on the coroner's office, one assumes it is entirely legal.
Of course. Hey.
In the early episodes, that pretty much is all Willow is reduced to, unfortunately, is just do stuff on a computer because the plot needs her to.
I know. She's so
Which is a shame because Alison, as we learn very, very soon, is wonderfully talented and deserves better storylines than just being sat behind a computer.
She's not human, she's
Technically, a big bug.
an actual woman finds me attractive. I realize it's some mystery guy handing out leather jackets. And while we're on the subject, what kind of a girly name is Angel anyway?
What does it have to do?
Nothing. It just kind of bugs me. Look, I really got
Cheers.
Wow. So that's a martini, huh?
It is so silly, this episode. Sci-fi fans will no doubt be interested to know, if you don't know already, that the praying mantis creature, the actual special effect, you know, the puppet, was used in Babylon 5 in the first season.
Bats eat them. A mantis hears sonar, its entire nervous system goes kaplooey.
Where am I going to find
In the vid library. There are no books, but it's dark and musty. You'll feel right at home. Go!
It's very much a role reversal with Giles and Buffy here.
I guess I'll handle the armory. I won't be long.
It's funny watching this. I don't think these two storylines really complement each other very well. They feel very much fragmented in it, and it awkwardly sort of pads out this final part of the episode, because what she's going to do is get the claw guy to find out where this mantis is. Claw guy is just, it feels like a slightly pointless addition to this episode, and it just is a good example of just how a little bit rough around the edges this one is. It still has the dialogue to help power through, and it's funny enough.
Mr. Gregory, he scarfed his head. Yeah, well, he taught me.
You're not really used to seeing Buffy wield a machete as well. Later Buffy would definitely favour a good old battle axe.
It's the wrong side.
Well, anyway, you can have your jacket back.
It looks better on you.
Oh, boy.
One of the shows only ever really... Well, I suppose it's not. I mean, it actually follows, like, The Witch with Amy's mum being in the statue. Now we have hatching mantis eggs in the school. A trope that the series doesn't really pursue after this episode. So, that was Season 1, Episode 4, Teacher's Pet. And I'm still going to give it a 3 out of 5. I think it's goofy, and it's not aged terribly well, and even like the theme of the episode it's a bit hokey, and it definitely is a sign of a show still finding its feet, this episode, and displays a little less of the confidence that I think the first 3 had. Like I said, the two storylines don't juxtapose very well with each other. Or complement each other would be a better word, actually. And so as a result, it's sort of very, very much an uneven episode, and I certainly think of all the episodes in the run, Teacher's Pet is probably one of the ones near the bottom. It has to be said. That's not to say it's not without its merit. Like I say, a lot of the dialogue still landed. I still found myself chuckling, certainly chuckling along to it, but definitely. It definitely just reeked of a show. It's definitely still resembling a show that's still trying to find its feet, and it does pick up pretty much after that. I mean, I would probably say Teacher's Pet could even be Season 1's lowest sort of point, and everything after this is a sort of steady rise to the sort of excellence that Prophecy Girl reaches at the end of the series. So yeah, I mean, that's Teacher's Pet. There's not really a lot to say. I didn't really have many bits of trivia to discuss, really. It's quite a basic one. So yeah, that's it, and I'll try and get the next episode, which will be Never Kill a Boy on a First Date, out as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Drop me a few comments. Let's discuss the episode, and until next time, I will see you very soon. So thank you very much, and goodbye.